What's up, guys? I'm at my crumpler apiary, and welcome back to Everyday Beekeeping. Today, we're going to do some pollen patties and bee stuff, and we're going to talk about the bees. Today is Saturday, March the 1st, 2025, and we've got some hives to look at in this apiary. Got a bunch of stuff going on up here, a bunch of hives to look through. I got this pollen feeder. I make these pollen feeders, and I got a video for that. Bees are inside. They cleaned out the pollen out of there. I had a bunch of pollen left in there from the end of last year, and the bees, they're working on getting that pollen substitute out. But we got some pollen patties we made with honey a couple nights ago, and we're going to put them on these bees. So let's jump into some hives. All right, guys, so we're going to jump into a hive. I'm doing a little bit of different types of work today. We're going to check for sugar to see if they need any sugar. And these bees seem to have not used much of their sugar or even using this box. So we are going to take this box off since it's empty. It appears that they, let's see. I'm not checking for any brood or anything, but these frames appear to be empty. We're going to take this box off for now. That way they don't have as much space to heat. We're going to put their feeding shim back on. We're going to give them their sugar back. And I'm going to give them a pollen. This is going to help boost them up for the spring, get them rearing brood, all of those sorts of things. Put that right in there for them. And they're still mostly clustered in the bottom box, so that's a good sign as well. We're going to move through the rest of the apiary and do the same thing. If they need boxes taken off, we're going to remove them. We're going to give them all some pollen patties and check and see our numbers. This year has been particularly hard for bees and beekeepers. In 2025, between June and February, most commercial beekeepers have had a loss of 62%, with that percentage going up for hobbyist beekeepers for 4 to 6%. So that's about a 68% loss total in the United States, and that loss is much higher than historical trends, and it can have a significant impact on the agriculture industry. Now, why are the bees dying? There are a couple different reasons why the bees could be dying. It could be anything from varroa mites or transmitted diseases to extreme weather conditions such as droughts and other weather that can harm the bees, to agrochemicals in farming like pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. So with us being in the Appalachian Mountains, we don't have mono-agriculture, so I think that we can safely say that agrochemicals are not at play in this part of the United States, but we did suffer from some pretty significant droughts in the summer of 2024 in between July and August, and I think we are seeing some of the effects of that because of brood drop off in the summer. They didn't have enough time to build winter bees. In some of the apiaries that I go to, I'm seeing that there are no losses, and the difference that I see in the yards that did have losses is the brood production. So we also had a really harsh winter this winter. The bees, they're normally going to lose about 1,000 bees a day in the winter time, at least until they build up in the spring. And for some of those medium and smaller size colonies, they don't have enough bees to cluster to hold temperature enough to keep the bees going until spring. So you'll see really small dead out clusters in the hive, sometimes from a golf ball size to a softball size, and that's not enough bees to heat up the entire structure of a beehive for them to survive through winter. For my particular area, we also experience excess moisture from September into February. We have experienced 2 major flood events in our area. Some beekeepers have losses due to the flooding, but also the excess moisture makes it harder for the bees to maintain an internal temperature that is dry enough for them to survive. And we know that it's not a varroa mite issue because we all are on the same varroa mite treatment management schedule, so we can rule that out safely as well with the agrochemicals. So for us, the majority of us in southern West Virginia, I think that there is a number of environmental factors that is leading to seeing these historical bee losses. There is also some concern among the beekeeping community that there are viruses, some unseen viruses at play. And for our area, I don't think that that is the case because we are stationary beekeepers. We're not taking our bees out to pollination and to crowded places where there's bees. So there would have to be some kind of transmission point for a virus to spread to the entire United States. And in our area, we are really secluded and we don't bring a lot of outside bees in, and you would see some kind of transmission point. So there is no evidence as of yet to show that there's any kind of new viruses causing these issues. I just think that there's different factors at play depending on where you live, and we can pinpoint what those are if we just take a little bit closer look at our individual situations. For us, I think our biggest concern was the weather and all of the factors that we couldn't control this year. We will start to see consequences from this bee loss, whether you're a beekeeper or not. There are hidden consequences, some of them being pollination. The loss of bees could impact the pollination of crops like almonds, fruits, vegetables, and other essential sources of food. There's also going to be a shortage in food production due to that pollination loss, and the economy is taking closer to $1 billion hit, on its way to $1 billion hit on just the loss from bees alone. That being said, I've seen beekeepers lose more bees between February and March than any other time. This is a crucial time for bees to start building up, so it is important to make sure that your bees have enough resources to carry them through until there's a significant pollen and nectar flow for them to have spring build up. And then we have a whole another list of projects and tasks to do to make sure the bees are healthy and happy. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Everyday Beekeeping. Get out there and feed your bees, and remember, you're not going to get it sitting on the couch. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, where I have all of my beekeeping content available absolutely free, and I am now able to take subscriptions on Facebook, where I am posting exclusive content, links to all of my presentations, and all of my early content. All right then. I would like to close with one last statement. Beekeeping is very regional. I have talked to over 100 beekeepers through text messages, online, and in person about their losses, and the losses vary depending on the location and depending on the situation. Commercial operations and information generated from commercial operations doesn't often reflect the hobbyist beekeeper, the everyday backyard beekeeper like myself. So we can attribute our losses to very regional conditions. So you can't take everything that you see in the media at face value, and you should always look at your own situation and your regional area to try to find the solutions to your beekeeping problems, and try to look at it with critical thinking. What could I have done better to prevent my own losses, and take some accountability. I know there are a lot of things that I could have done to improve my own situation, but sometimes weather is at play, and sometimes there are other things that we can't see. That's part of what this process is, to learn and grow into becoming a better beekeeper. But I hope you all enjoy the video, and I'd like to hear what you think happened with your bees, if you've had losses or if you're doing great. So keep it up, guys. You're not going to get it sitting on the couch. All right then.